Now let's turn our attention to Southeast Asia. A clash took place over the weekend, a maritime clash between the Philippines and China in the West Philippine Sea. That's the part of the sea that belongs to the Philippines. Therefore, it's called the West Philippine Sea. But China claims the entire region as its own, and it tries to enforce these fantasies with aggression. On Saturday, this happened again. Multiple Chinese ships ganged up on a Philippine Coast Guard vessel. Then one of the Chinese boats rammed into it thrice. Take a look. Sailors on board the Filipino vessel recorded the attack. They say that the Chinese ship deliberately rammed into them. And that's certainly what it looks like. The Filipino ship was damaged. There are now holes in the ship's hull. You can see the aftermath. But despite this visual evidence, China is trying to turn this around. Beijing claims to be the real victim of the clash. They released their own video of the incident taken by someone on board the Chinese vessel. This video shows just one of the 3 ramming incidents. And Beijing is trying to portray it as an aggressive maneuver by the Philippines. Today, a Chinese spokesperson doubled down on this claim.
First of all, the Sabina Shoal is part of China's Nansha Islands. On August 31st, a Philippine Coast Guard vessel had illegally stayed in the waters near Sabina Shoal for a long time. In an unprofessional and dangerous way, it deliberately rammed into a Chinese Coast Guard vessel, defending what is its rightful position. This caused a collision between the vessels from both the Chinese and Filipino sides. It is, therefore, justifiable that China takes necessary measures in accordance with the law, which is legitimate, lawful, and beyond reproach.
You've seen both the videos, both the versions, the Chinese and the Filipino one. I'll let you decide who looks like the aggressor. Meanwhile, let's look at the bigger picture here. This was the 5th clash between China and the Philippines in a month, the 5th clash in 1 month. Chinese ships and planes constantly butt heads with Filipino vessels, hoping to take hold of the disputed region by force. So let's understand the situation a bit better. First, why is this area disputed? Let's show you the map. This is where the Sabina Shoal is located. It's about 230 kilometers away from Palawan, one of the islands that make up the Philippines. Now, according to international maritime law, anything up to 370 kilometers away from the coast falls into a country's exclusive economic zone, EEZ. Anything that's 370 kilometers away from the land border is your EEZ. The Sabina Shoal is 230 kilometers away from the Philippines, so it is well within its territory. Then why does China have ships in the area? Why is it clashing with the Philippines over this island? Well, because it's China. China believes itself to be above international law. It keeps spewing bogus territorial claims based on ancient imperial boundaries using these convenient old maps. Beijing claims almost the entire South China Sea region. It draws this infamous 9-dash line, and it claims everything within this 9-dash line. Obviously, that is bogus. An international tribunal said as much. It ruled against the Chinese claims back in 2016. So the dispute should have been over, but China refused to accept the verdict. It continues to harass countries that should actually control the region. And that is why a dispute still exists. Now let's look at the reason behind all of this. Why does China want this area so badly? Why does it want to control the entire South China Sea region? The simple answer is resources. The entire sea is rich in oil and gas. New deposits keep getting discovered. It should be enough to benefit all the countries in the region, but China wants to hoard all of it. And it's not just oil and gas, you also have fish. The South China Sea region is full of marine life. It's a boon for a nation's food security. But again, China wants to hog it all. It keeps sending its trawlers to exploit the region, even areas in the exclusive economic zones or EEZ of other nations. So China is literally stealing food off Filipino plates. That's one reason why it wants to control the South China Sea. for the resources. The second reason is trade. About $3 trillion worth of trade flows through the region every year. $3 trillion, it's more than the GDP of most countries. And then there's the strategic angle. Remember, Beijing views the South China Sea region as its own, as its mythical, historical territory. So it wants to control the region to the T. China has set up a number of military bases and airstrips all over the sea, which it can use to exert pressure on other nations and counter any challengers. So the region is lucrative and it has military value. No wonder Beijing goes to such lengths to exert control.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Obviously today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
It starts with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation.